I haven't been to Japan yet, but I do love drinking tea in the morning, so I thought this morning I would do a tea ceremony in front of my altar to connect with my ancestors. I know I'm certainly not the only one who has a tough time around the winter holidays. Sometimes it seems like everyone's got a family to go back home to share happy and profound childhood memories with around the table. I don't have that anymore, and maybe it's something like this for you too. Maybe you never got to have these happy memories, but I've been told that I can reclaim this holiday season for myself, or whatever time of year it is that gives me a hard time. So this holiday, my intention was to surround myself with beauty, meaning, ancestry, and soul family in ways that could nurture my tenderness and strengthen my connection to my family, ancestry, origins, and my own experience of home and family. This morning, I feel like getting a whole lot of things done. Today feels like a get-ish done day. And I am on my way to town to do a bunch of errands, some last-minute Christmas shopping, some grocery shopping. I feel like going to the craft store to make crafts. I feel crafty, like decorating my living room with some cedar wreaths and pine cones, some natural decorations. Oh, there's a deer in my front yard. I just feel like making my house super cozy and warm, and tomorrow is Solstice, and I haven't done a whole lot with Christmas decorations, and I'm just really feeling called to continue making this holiday season my own, reclaiming it. It's been a season that's usually got me feeling pretty down because I don't have family. I don't have my parents, I don't have my brother anymore, and it can just be a really dark time of the year for me where I feel super, super alone. And I'm just so grateful that this year has been feeling really good with my sister living here as my housemate and my partner. He's about to move in, but he's at my house a lot, and we've been making food and having lots of gatherings with friends. So it's been feeling really good, and I just want to continue making it my own. I want to go through photo albums in the next couple days and do decorations. So let's go. I got a lot of ideas of places I want to stop by today, and that remind me of my family and my ancestors. So this is where I go to buy things from Mexico and to feel a little closer to my ancestors. It's called the Mexican Barrio, and it's in Grass Valley, and it's amazing. You guys are gonna love it. How can I make tamales in maybe like a more beginner way? Maybe I don't do it all by scratch, but
yeah,
is there a way to
buy, depends what kind you make. So for the red ones, you need
for red chili?
yeah, you can use guajillo or real, the other one.
So I can make
California, it's mild.
I can make a red or a green chili.
Green chili, it's tomatillo, jalapenos, and cilantro.
Is it hard though? What about getting a jar of chili, or should I try and do it all by scratch?
Oh, the people use one.
Okay, all right, because I'm not too confident in my chili making skills.
So some people use.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I'm buying the things. I'm gonna do it. My mom used to make tamales every Christmas, so yeah, I want to start. Oh my gosh, conchas. These remind me of my childhood. So the only person I ever met on my mom's side, my mom was born in Mexico. She left Mexico
when she was 14. She emigrated to America when she was in her teens, when she was a teenager, and I lost her whole history. I didn't meet anyone on her side except one brother. I'm pretty sure he was a half-brother. One uncle came and visited us a handful of times, and every time he would come, he would bring a box of Mexican bread, sweet bread, conchas, all these sweet Mexican breads, and my mom really loved these breads, and I have a feeling this was the only reason she let him in the house to see us, was because he brought these gifts of back home. And so I never got to meet anyone from her side of the family. Never went to Mexico with her. I did feel her really strongly when I went to Mexico for 6 weeks a couple years ago. I felt her so strong, and I grew so much closer to her, even though she had already passed. Like, I just was understanding more and more of who she was, how she came to be how she was. So yeah, this is not the healthiest thing that I'm gonna be eating today, but it's food for the soul. Go through a case of photo albums that I've inherited. My brother and I inherited these photos from the family house when my parents died, and now that my brother's gone, I have them. And there's a lot of albums, and it's all from my father's side and in our nuclear family. So it's been a minute since I've gone through them, maybe 2 years, and I want to pick some fresh photos out, and I want to feel the memories, and I want to clip them behind my ancestor altar. And I'm going to spruce that ancestor altar up today, and I am going to decorate the living room a bit more with some cedar from the front yard, because today's the solstice, and it kind of feels like this is the new year. Today is the new year, if we were to realign ourselves with the movement of the celestial bodies and back up from the Gregorian calendar. So I feel very holiday-ish today, and I feel like decorating the home.
ancestry, the wisdom, the support, the love that we're all able to stay connected with each other. It's such a, again, luxury, privilege.
He believes the reality of the dream town. This world is that kind of sleep.
Feeling really good today. I had a morning phone call with a cousin that I've managed to stay in touch with and have been in touch with a little bit more so over the past couple years through Instagram. And since my brother died, we've spoken a bunch, and I hadn't talked to her for about, 8 months over the phone. So I was just writing down a list of all these wonderful things I'd like to do for this holiday, and that'd make me feel even more rooted in my ancestry and lineage. And I thought of her, so she was available. We had a great call this morning for a little over an hour, and it was so wonderful because I got to realize what a unique combination of cultures we walk with. The Japanese on one side, her mom, my dad, and Hispanic on the other side, her dad, my mom, and how much of a polar opposite they are in the sense of socialness. The Japanese are so introverted and so quiet, and they tend to keep to themselves, and it tends to be culturally smiled upon, culturally acceptable to keep to yourself and to not make a fuss, to not lean on one another for emotional support. I don't know, maybe I'm going too far with this, but there's definitely something like that. There's definitely truth in that, because our family is quite estranged. It feels like it's really sad. It's really sad. My dad was only close to a couple siblings. There were 7 of them, and there have been a lot of deaths in the family for various causes. So it just seems very fragmented now, and the recent people in the family who have passed in the past couple years, there have been no large funerals or memorials that we've been invited to. And it just makes us both really sad and aware that this isn't healthy, and it doesn't lead to healing and moving through grief in any sort of familial way like it could if we gathered as a family to grieve together. And then her dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family, the Hispanic side, so gregarious, so outgoing, so social, extroverted, all up in each other's business, loves to talk, loves to gab, and carrying these two cultures, these two lineages, is an invitation, I feel, to create that balance, that healthy balance. How can we create family and create the closeness that we want in our family relationships that feels really healthy and good and supportive? Like, the middle ground that we can create for ourselves in this life. And I feel like it's a beautiful invitation, and it's beautiful to walk with both extremes in a way. And yeah, I really appreciate this connection that I have with her, because there's not too many people that I know that are half Asian and half Mexican. And yeah, it's special. And I also got some ideas from her on dishes to make, other Hispanic dishes to make, some pozole, menudo. I'm down. I'm up for the challenge. I'm gonna make tamales for the first time on Christmas Eve. There's a bunch of new foods that I made this year, and I'm down for the challenge. So it was great to talk with her. I'm super grateful that I reached out and that she was available, and that we're both loving, feeling, creative, sensitive women, and I'm just grateful. I'm feeling so good, and I'm actually not a big phone person, so it was kind of a push for me to get on the phone at 9 o'clock in the morning because I overslept a bit. But I'm really grateful I did, and every time I make the effort to meet up with a friend or get on the phone with a friend, it's always worth it. I don't know why I ever feel that resistance, but I'm just reminding myself today that it's worth it, and it feels so good after I do it. The sun feels so good. Yesterday was Solstice. I was feeling a touch full of emotions yesterday, and it was a little challenging to kind of parse through them and figure out what was going on with me. But I think that mingled in there was definitely a bit of grief, a bit of loneliness, longing. There's a word in Portuguese called saudade, and because I know some Portuguese, and it's one of these words that we don't have in the English language, and it means like a deep longing, like you'd say to somebody you haven't seen in a long time, saudades pra você, like there's a longing for you. And I was feeling some of this saudades for my family yesterday while creating these altars and decorations, holiday decorations. It's so sweet because my partner is moving in with me in a couple days just before the new year, and we've been together for a while, and he knows that this time of the year can be really difficult for me, and he has been supporting me in decorating the house with these Christmas decorations, holiday decorations, and it's been so wonderful to feel supported in this way. And yesterday he surprised me with some presents under this tree that we made, and yeah, I'm just feeling so grateful for this sense of family coming together at my house, and for the roommate that I've had for the past 6 months, this sister that I do ceremony and pray with, that I met in ceremonial space, and she's been wonderful. And yeah, this real feeling of home that is so important to me in my life, it has been manifesting, has been unfolding before my eyes. It's been really wonderful, considering last year I was by myself. 2022, I lived by myself the whole year. I was needing a roommate, financially it would have been smart, but I was just so sensitive and still in my grief, and so particular about the kind of person I would want to live with. Like I really knew that it'd be best for me to live with a friend or a sister. So I held out because I wasn't finding the right person. And last holiday season, I was like, why the freak am I in this big house by myself? Like, this is the loneliest sort of situation for somebody like me. How could I do this to myself? So it feels good this season to be around so many loving, beautiful hearts, and yeah, feeling super grateful.
Thank you so much for joining me on what was a very sweet holiday season. I feel very hopeful and enthusiastic about the year to come. And I still had feelings of loneliness and grief, but gratitude and love always make these feelings okay. The older I get, I realize these just come with the package of being a human being. Together with loved ones, life is better. We were never meant to do this alone. And when we walk a spiritual path of healing, kindness, compassion, and trust, we realize that we are the grand co-creators of the meaning of life.